Government secrecy and wartime censorship. Explained, what you may not know. Explore the complex world of government secrecy, wartime censorship, and transparency issues that shape public knowledge during conflict. Government secrecy and wartime censorship, what you should know. You know, when we think about governments and how they operate during wartime, secrecy often plays a huge role. It's like there's this invisible curtain that drops over certain pieces of information, and only a select few get to pull it back. Sometimes it's for protection, other times, well, it feels like a way to control the story, the narrative, or even what the public is allowed to know. Let's break this down a little bit. First off, government classified information is pretty much the heartbeat of wartime secrecy. These are records, reports, strategies, and communications that governments keep under wraps for security reasons. It's understandable, to an extent. It's about protecting troops, national security, and ongoing operations. Imagine if your adversary knew exactly where you were moving your forces or what your next move was. That's just handing them an unbeatable advantage. But then there's the flip side, the part where things get murky. Government information secrecy sometimes bleeds over from protecting lives to protecting government interests or avoiding public scrutiny. Think about major conflicts in history: World War II, Vietnam, more recently conflicts in the Middle East. There's always been a tension between what officials reveal and what they hide. One of the oldest and most classic tools they've used is wartime censorship. This involves controlling what the media can report, censoring letters from soldiers, or even withholding casualty numbers. Believe it or not, during World War II, censorship was so strict that some soldiers' letters home couldn't mention troop movements or key details, even if it meant leaving families in the dark. It was messy, but seen as necessary to keep morale up and prevent giving the enemy any clues. However, this introduces government transparency issues. How much secrecy is too much? There have been countless debates about this balance. Too little transparency can erode public trust, breed conspiracy theories, and breed frustration. For example, the Pentagon Papers released during the Vietnam War exposed massive government secret policies that showed just how much the public was kept in the dark. These revelations shifted public opinion and fueled anti-war sentiment. When discussing secrecy, you've got to think about government confidentiality and its implications. The problem is, this confidentiality can sometimes shield actions that might be questionable or even illegal. And the more information that's classified or hidden, the harder it becomes to hold anyone accountable. But at the same time, whistleblowers risk everything when they step forward, because releasing classified information can lead to serious criminal charges. Obviously, this tension between national security and public knowledge is a hot-button topic. You see it in everything from intelligence leaks to debates about surveillance and privacy. Government document secrecy practices don't just stop after war's end. They affect citizens' trust in government long-term. For those fascinated by these themes, government secrecy, censorship, and the murky world of deep state maneuvering, there's an intriguing novel called Hush, a psychological thriller of alien manipulation and deep state deceit. It's a roller coaster that pulls you into shadowy dealings and secret agendas that seem ripped from real-world headlines. If you want a thrilling story that also makes you think about how secrecy shapes our world, it's definitely worth a look. Whether you prefer to read, listen, or hold a physical copy in your hands, you can buy Hush now in ebook, print, or audio formats. It's a perfect companion for anyone curious about the dark corners of government secrecy and the impact it has on our lives. So next time you hear about governments withholding information during wartime, remember, it's not just about hiding facts. It's a complicated dance between protecting people, controlling narratives, and sometimes keeping uncomfortable truths under wraps. It's messy, it's human, but understanding it makes us smarter about how the world really works behind the scenes.